Hello and welcome back to another episode of the Pontiac C10. Now I'm sure y'all are getting tired of all the episodes, because I am too, because I'd like to drive it eventually. But money is a big issue. Also, let's hope third time's a charm, because guess what parts I got to put on today? If you guessed brake lines, you'd be right. Yeah, that's right, brake lines again. And let me explain why brake lines again. So, my brake fluid level has dropped yet again. There's yet again brake fluid right here on this front fitting. And on the back on the T. So there's 3 fittings on this whole kit that keeps leaking. I've done the exercise method for stainless lines, you know, tighten, loosen, tighten further, loosen, tighten further, loosen. Several times. I called Summit, told them, of course when it comes to stainless brake lines, you have to have a better flare tool than what I have for steel lines. And if they're just not properly flared, they'll never seal because they're a lot harder metal. It's harder to seal than a regular steel line, so if things aren't right, well, it's just not going to be right. Well, this kit was a whole kit, and they do sell it in 2 different styles, or 2 different kits. But I bought the full kit, obviously. I did the whole thing. And they were trying to figure out, because it's 2 lines, the both over the axle lines at the T. Okay, they were like, that's not a big deal, we can send you that kit. But this front one came with 3 other lines, and they're like, well, that's kind of a problem, you know. And we were talking, I was like, you know what? I just want to go back with regular steel lines. I'll send these back and just get regular steel. Reason for that, it's going to be easier to seal. I don't live in a harsh environment where I really need stainless steel. I'll be okay. I'll be okay. So, that's what I'm going to do. Now, let's be honest, this really does suck taking all this back apart, but it is what it is. Luckily, I already got everything lined up, so it should go back together extremely well. I hope. You know, so. And after I get these installed, I gotta go and run and get some paint and repaint everything, because brake fluid will ruin that, and over the rear end, so that's fun. That is not really fun, but you know, the old sentiment. I did buy me some brand new line wrenches to make this even easier. And yeah, so far so good. I'm going to try to save some of this fluid. I don't know if I can, but you know. I don't want it just start dripping everywhere either, so let's see if I can get any of that brake fluid. Yeah. I don't think that's going to be as fast as I thought it was. Now, let's go ahead and get that started. And tell you the truth, I think these lines are better bent than the stainless ones. Obviously, yeah, they do bend easier, but I think they got them more accurate to the factory style. So this was probably the better option to begin with, anyway. So should have just done this from the get-go. Maybe I should. Alright, I got some paper towels and try to clean my mess. But this is going to be messy now that there is brake fluid in all the lines. But It is what it is. There we go. Okay. Get this one down here tight. Size. Just double checking. Okay. All right. Do that one real quick. Okay. All right. Now what I really want to do is make sure these are kind of nice and set up right. I definitely don't want them touching the steering, or words are hard sometimes. Steering shaft. And these are much more flexible. Now, I think I can do it kind of like I did with the stainless lines, with my little, you know, holders down here, and make it look good. I think. I hope. Okay, there's one. Get the other one on there. Alright. Now I need to line the bolt up and reattach it. Ah, that's hard to do now that I bent it. Go figure. You know what? Let's cheat a little bit. I know some of y'all done this stuff where you say screw it, use a bolt, tighten it in there, and it will line the holes up themselves. And something like this, it works. Okay. Now to put the back side in. Oh yeah. There we go. Now, just tidy it up a little bit more. Alright, now I gotta hit these lines again down here. So I'll start with the short one first. Just gonna take my little, these holders off again off this one. That's one. One under it. Yeah. There we go. Ah, there we go. No! Always something. Okay. Now let's see if I can get this thing on there. This one's going to be odd, but whatever. We'll suffice. We'll make it work. Unfortunately, it's a lot of brake fluid still coming out of there, so it's going to be hard to get just the way I want it without getting brake fluid all over myself and the vehicle. I feel like we should do it that way, maybe. I'm wondering, shoot, this is weird. So, the problem is, these bends just a little too far back. And that's the hardest one to manipulate, because I got a good 90 on it, so trying to straighten it out ain't gonna work too well. It's really annoying losing fluid at the same time. I'm going to turn the camera off for a minute, and I guess I should just let the camera roll because I just grabbed a deep weld socket and bent it. Didn't take no time at all. Felt like it was going to take longer to get right, but whatever. Okay. Get that tightened down. Loosen it back up. Tighten it down a little further. Same thing over here. It is trying to leak because it's just not tightened down yet. Oh yeah. What have I gotten myself into? Just not a lot of room on these two fittings right here. See if I can get it a little bit tighter. Okay, I think I got it. Now again, let's wipe everything off, make sure nothing's leaking. Yeah, man, so much for all that paint on the frame that I painted, because, yeah, that brake fluid may quit work of it. All right, now I went ahead and crawled up under there and got the middle section loosened off. It's like, now, come on, try to pull this out and let some of the brake fluid drain off before I pull this out. Come on. I don't understand why this is going to be so difficult right here. Alright, that only took forever to get all there along the frame done again. But that should be it. Go ahead and paint all these lines so they can be hidden. You don't really see that they're there, etc. Because I kind of like that look anyway. Here we go. The rear lines. So once I do this, the only problem about doing these rear lines is I have my traction bars in the way. Man, are they getting kind of crusty from sitting, but I think they're fine. It was all right here on the T fitting that separates left from right is where I couldn't get it to stop leaking. No matter what I did, it was the front for the passenger side. Oh gosh. Yeah, and I had that tight. I couldn't get it any tighter if I tried. Okay. Alright, that's on there. Hold that and... jeez. Holy crap. Someone put this on there too tight. Oh. And yeah, that tight. Still leaked, so whatever. Alright. Okay. I'm on. Okay. Alright, so those are out of the way. And these little freaking rubber caps on the end of these things can be hard to get off. There. And Okay. So I believe it does go, maybe it goes that way. Alright, oh man. So everything is on here now, tightened down, so I should be okay. I'm gonna go ahead and, you know, paint all this. Oops, no. I hit the rear end cover a little bit, but it'll be alright. It's gonna have to come back off anyway. Because I got to rebuild the rear end anyway, so. Now I guess, words again. I guess I will go get my brake. I guess I'll go get my brake bleeder kit. It's hard to say when you're laying down, but. And try to push the air back out of the lines. Not that it really matters, because that over there, that side, driver's side, is a wheel cylinder's leaking, so it's letting out fluid anyway. But I feel like I should go ahead and fill the lines up. Alright, now I'm on the last one. Everything's going pretty decent, thankfully. The only thing I remember is I do not actually like the way these stainless braided are ran. They just don't like it. I do not. Really think about it. I may end up grinding down that little spot that's supposed to hold the block for the hose. Since these are aftermarket and they're stainless braided, I may end up grinding that and then moving it, because they're coming up but they're hitting the spindle. Yes, it don't matter as long as they're not like rubbing. So I don't know, maybe I'm reading too much into it, because they're on the daily same ones, so it should be okay. There and yep, fluid's coming up. All right. That should be it. Should have most of the air out of the lines. Where did I put my wrench? Yeah. Right in front of me. All right. Okay. Alright, so everything is, for the most part, good on the brakes that I can see. The only thing left to do is top off the reservoir and double check everything. Everything's freshly painted, so I'll know if it still leaks. And yeah, hopefully this is better. Everything bent easier and I was able to line up everything a lot easier. The stainless is just too hard to bend and line up right, but I got it with the steel a lot better. It's painted and ain't going nowhere. And still yet, the back frame line, I still use the same one that I've been using this whole time. It's a steel line I got years ago. It's the proper size because, again, I put this front one on the proportionate valve, ran it down to the union, it got connected perfect to the one back there. Got the other new Wright stuff, which, remember, the stainless kit was Wright, same brand, and they overlap each other by that much. So I'd have to pull this line forward somehow 6 inches and push the other one back about 6 inches. I got like 4 inches that one could come forward, But pushing that one 6 inches past the bracket for the rear brake lines is a bit ridiculous. So it actually had to be 8 inches. That's ridiculous. I'd have to loop it back, and I'm not going to do that. So, and when I flush the, put pressure from the back to the front, I mean, it's pretty damn well clean. For the most part. I'm going to say for the most part, for the simple fact that those wheel cylinders are the wheel cylinders that were on the truck before, and one is bad. It's leaking. So it's very possible it's got some crud in it from the wheel cylinders, but it's really not that bad. There's not much of anything, so I think that back one's fine. I'm going to keep that other one. If anything happens to that one, I'll have to make it fit and redo everything, but right now it looks good. I'm just going to top this off. I don't see any bubbles, so that's good. Yeah. Unfortunately, this time of the year, by the time it warms up enough for me to come out here, start working, I got a couple hours left before the sun goes down and starts getting cool again. So, yeah, I think that's all I could do today anyway. I mean, if I started anything else, it'd just be dark. So, yeah. Got the brake lines, so obviously I know you're probably screaming at me, let's get it done. We want to see it running. I want to drive it again. And there's some stuff I could do here and there. Still really need to find all my brackets for the alternator and power steering. Well, all brackets, that's not that many. Power steering pump and alternator bracket. But to tell you the truth, I don't remember this engine ever having. You know, I'm going to go back and look at some old pictures of the car I got this from. I don't remember if it had those on it or not. I think it did. But also I don't remember. So, but it is the later water pump, so technically I should be able to get brackets anywhere. Power steering pump, I think I can make the C10 pump fit the bracket. I'm really not a fan of how the alternator on the Pontiac sits above the power steering. I'd like to move it over. Not sure if I can or not. Not sure if there's a bracket for that or not, or I don't really feel like trying to fab up my own bracket for the fact of lining up the V-belt. And I need to find a water pump. I was at one time going to go with the serpentine setup, but screw it, I'm just going to go V-belt. Yeah. Okay, well, I think this is it for this year. I'm going to bring this truck back in spring. Probably end up working on the 70 in my buddy's garage with him over the winter. Because one, it's in a garage over the winter. People get winter projects, I can't do that. Because, well, obvious reasons. Because I'm out in the open. So, in the cold. Brr. So, yeah. And there's leaves falling in it now as we speak. So, I'm going to call it here. Hope you enjoyed this episode. Stick around, there's more to come. Beginning of next year. Well, sometime next year, you know, because this will air in December and holidays, and then Arkansas winters happen, and then spring. So that gives me time to save up money and get more parts, because I really, honestly, if I need to do more stuff, there's some things I could touch up here and there and tidy up, but I really need to get the big stuff done out of the way so I can get ready to drive it. I'm almost tempted to get this engine running. I say screw the stroker kit, screw the heads for now. I'd like to change the cam, but that may not happen either. I may just drive this like it is and work on the GTOs. I don't know. I do need to get the transmission behind it, and I still need parts for that. And there's a lot. There is a lot, let me tell you. So, yeah. Thanks for watching.